This one's really... Hello, all you wonderful, amazing people. I normally greet with hello, all you wonderful, amazing teachers, but actually, I think there's a lot of people that are not teachers watching us today, and that I'm really grateful that you're around and you're ready to learn something amazing. So my name is Coach Sesh, and I am a productivity, mindfulness, and resilience coach for anybody, but especially teachers, because I am a teacher myself. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself, just a tiny bit so you know who I am and where I've come from, what my story is. I am a science teacher. My husband also teaches science, and we are South African. We moved to the UK 5 years ago, and we have been working here. It had been a really massive change for us, going from a different schooling system, a different curriculum, different way of life, and a complete overhaul. We even cancelled our traditional wedding to be here. But it was a dream that we really, really wanted to realize. And it's something that was so important to both of us that, we're here for 5 years now, and it's amazing to think we've been here for so long. We've got a little boy, he's 3.5 years old, just over 3.5. And we've got a little one on the way as well, just about 5 months pregnant at the moment. But the reason we've started doing this, the circle of alphas is what we call it, is because we really believe that teachers are so important to our students, are so important to the growth and development of our entire world, and they're really important in changing the world in a positive way. But we are sort of losing track as teachers of the fact that we are doing something so amazing because we're struggling with all of the demands and stresses of our job. So the reason my husband and I decided to do this, the reason that we want to do this for teachers, we want to do this for anybody, in fact, is because we think that life is meant to be lived happily. Life is meant to be something of a mystery, something of full of joy, of passion, of enlightenment. And yes, there is struggle, and yes, there is pain, and there is sadness and despair. But we also have to make sure that in those times we're reflective, we're able to get through the people around us, but also being able to be more resilient and have a lot of emotional grit when we get out of that situation. The whole point of us being here as humans is to get through our unique experiences, but also to make sure that we are better after those experiences, whether they're good or bad. So yeah, we're science teachers. We are also coaches. He is my absolute amazing technical mind behind all of this. So I'm coming to you from YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook today, all because my wonderful, amazing Donovan has been able to set up all of this for all of you, because we want to get to as many people as possible. The passion for coaching also comes from the fact that we are so passionate about helping people and changing the world. It's really important to us that we're able to do this because we have what we think is some amazing tools and hacks that we need to pass on, because why not? We need to be able to share what's good in our lives and let someone else benefit from it as well. So today's masterclass is all about journaling, and I've been journaling since I was 16. So this whole journey of mine started when I was 16 years old. A teacher had recognized that I'd been going through an extremely difficult time, and we'll have a whole masterclass on that another time. But she'd noticed that I've been going through something really, really difficult, and she introduced me. The very first bit was actually introduced me to listening to music that actually resounded within me. So you'll find sometimes I post about things like Dr. Dre or Eminem, or something about Tibetan singing bowls. These are different kinds of music that I listen to that resound with me on different days. And it really helps. Simple hack, listening to music. She also introduced me to a book and the movie The Secret. And some of you might know it. If you're into self-development like we are, then you would know about it. And you'd know that well, for me, it was it was my starting point. And I'm so grateful, absolutely grateful for that. So journaling started for me as just a way of getting out whatever was upsetting me. So as a teenager, trying to get through my final year of school and making sure that, I had the grades that I needed to get into college, because I didn't have the luxury of having parents that were able to pay for everything. My parents couldn't, and I didn't want them to. But I also really wanted to go to college because I felt teaching and educating was my calling. So I had that goal of, trying to get through and do the best I could. I did. And being able to journal and get out all of those thoughts and to download all of that energy that I felt was holding me back, or kind of not helping, but making me struggle a little bit, helped in a way because it was a physical release. And our brains work in a way where little pictures and images are kind of subconscious reminders to tell us that, you know what, you are struggling or you need to remember something. So here's a picture to remind you. We very rarely do words and, very rarely do words resound with us. But our brains tend to pick up images and smells and a collection of different sensory stimuli better, because our brain works really well that way. So by being able to journal, getting that out by writing, by reading, by sometimes speaking, and listening to what I was saying, that was sort of a release for me. Over time, so that was 12 years ago, gosh, big 12-year journey. But over time, this has evolved into something that I treasure so much. It's changed over time. It changed when I changed jobs, when I moved from South Africa to the UK. It changed when I had my son, or before I was going to have my son, when I was thinking about, my birth plan and things. All of that evolved with me. So it is my own absolutely personal way of reflecting and journaling that I really want to share with all of you, because I think that sometimes it's really nice to have a good start, or just a place to begin. We all want to do something good for ourselves. I was sitting and working out the hours, and I thought, I journal for 10 minutes a day, right? If you journaled for a whole year, every single day, without missing it, so making this a daily ritual of yours, morning, evening, whenever you have time. So if you spent 10 minutes a day doing this, you'd have accumulatively about 60 hours, and that's 2.5 days. 2.5 days of self-development, solid days. Now you compare this to 10 minutes of gossiping in the staff room or gossiping wherever, and you think about that turns into 2.5 days of worthless, mindless chatter. And then you think about, okay, I've sat and I've journaled and I've looked at what has been good in my day. I've reflected. I've gone through all the things that I'm grateful for. I've gone through all the things that I expect in my day and the things that I can work on a little more. That's 2.5 days of self-development that I will totally invest all my time in. I would rather do that, because I know that makes me a better person. That makes me a better teacher. That totally makes me a better mom and wife. And I want to do that. Because in this human experience, what do we want to be? We want to be the best. Okay, every single one of us was the sperm cell that won. And yes, that is an innate nature for us to be the best that we can be. So the whole model of Circle of Alphas is be your best self, not my best self, not their best self, your best self. And a good way of doing that, absolutely best way, I think, is to reflect. Reflection is hard, but it is really, it's a really deep way of thinking. It's a way of questioning yourself. You tend to coach yourself when you reflect, and it actually makes you want to be better. It makes you want to change yourself because you've wrote it down on paper. It's kind of like putting things down and solidifying what you've said. So if you want to achieve a particular goal and you've written it down, well, you made that promise to yourself, so you're going to want to do it. I'm just looking at all the people that are watching right now. Hi, Tutu. Thank you for saying I'm glowing. I did think I was this morning. That's what Dunn said. Thank you. Hi, Kesha, Levan, Jenny, Sarah, Amy, Ella. Thank you all for coming to watch. And everyone else that I'm not seeing on here, because I can't get the comments up on this one. But it's so good to have you all here. It's so amazing that we're all getting into this space and in this time and this pocket of time to do something amazing. All right, we're sending some beautiful vibrations into the universe, and I love that. Okay, so back into the whole journaling thing. These are the steps that we're going to use. So if you have a pen, a book, paper, whatever it is, totally fine. If you don't have it, absolutely fine as well. If you want to use your phone or your laptop, that's okay. If you want to come back later on, this is going to be on YouTube on our Circle of Alpha's YouTube channel. So go back later on and totally go and watch it. It's You can do it as many times as you want, because the more practice you have, the better you get at it. Okay. If you have any questions, I'm just going to move the comments up a little. Right. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them up on Facebook. I'm getting some questions on Facebook. And if you have any other comments and things, leave them on our Twitter page, on Instagram, or on Facebook, and I'll try and get through to every single person and answer those questions. And if we can, as a team, on the Taming the Anxiety Dragon page, we could all help each other, because that's what it's about. So before I start my journaling, or before I start actually writing, I need to make sure that I'm calm. So I'm sitting in my, I haven't named this room yet. Okay, it's a new home, and we've just added some beautiful pictures. I'll take some pictures and post them out later. But I've got some beautiful statues of the Buddha. I've got a lovely Tibetan singing bowl that I got for Christmas, which I love so much, and got a little candle out there just to create a lovely, calm atmosphere. Again, it's the whole why not thing. Why not do it? Because you can do it. If you want to create a positive environment, do it. If it's in your capacity to do it, go for it, because it makes your life better. Okay, so before I start journaling, I always close my eyes, and if you can, go for it. If you can't, it's okay. You can just watch me doing it. So I close my eyes, and I do what I call the alpha mode breathing. Alpha mode is a breathing technique that I've created, and I share with my students at school, but I also do it on my own, because it calms me down in a very short space of time. So when you're stressed, when you're anxious, when you're not feeling 100%, do alpha mode. It totally helps. So we take a breath in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale for 6 seconds. In, hold, out. In, hold, out. In, hold, out. One more time, guys. In, hold, and out. Long exhale. The reason why instantly calmer. The reason we breathe out for 6 seconds, or we increase the exhale, is because we want to make sure that we're releasing as much carbon dioxide as possible. Carbon dioxide is toxic for the brain, and we don't want it when we want to be writing and downloading our thoughts. We want to have a really positive environment within ourselves as well. Okay, so the very first thing I do in my journal is I write the date. I have my journal here, and I've got a whole lot of pens because I'm a teacher. I think most of us teachers are obsessed with stationery. So I've got my new diary for this year. I think I posted on this one. Captain Marvel is totally my spirit animal now. She's so resilient, and I think resilience is amazing. So I've already started with what I planned in the last decade, and we'll talk about that in another podcast. But yeah, so what I would do is I would just write the date at the top, and I always start with thank you. Thank you to whoever you want to say thank you, or just a simple thank you. So you write the date and you say thank you. And immediately you settle your brain into thinking that this is a positive experience. You are thanking, so you're thinking about very good things first. Yes, there are negative things to think about, and we will make sure that we go through that, but we'd like to start on a positive. Like any teacher, you always start with a positive and end with a positive. It creates a good atmosphere for students. So we start with simple things like the body, home, possessions, anything quick that you can recall that you're grateful for. Okay. So thank you for the air, my lungs to be able to breathe in. When you're ill, that is the time that you appreciate these things most. But try not to think about it only at that time. Think about it all the time. Appreciate it all the time because it's always there. Um, Thank you for hands and legs that I can use to do what I need to do, to hug my son, to walk around, to get myself what I need to teach my students, to go from places um, A to B, excuse me. And thank you for a safe home. Thank you for the sun being up this morning. The tiniest thing that we never ever think we should be grateful for, but it lifts your spirits to be grateful for something that is there. It's always there, but why not be grateful, right? Thinking about your home, thank you for having a kitchen to cook in. Thank you for having plates to eat my food in. Thank you for having a room that I could share all of my amazing hacks and lessons with you guys. Thank you for a place to meditate and calm my mind down. And then for possessions, thank you that I have devices that I can contact you all with, or thank you that I have devices that I can, call my family with and interact with people that are important to me. All of this is little ways to entice the brain into thinking, yes, I'm happy, or yes, I'm grateful for these things because they're all available to me. And I'm starting to project a really positive environment or atmosphere around myself from within. Um, so the next thing I do, if I'm doing this in the afternoon, then I will reflect on my morning. And if I'm doing it in the morning, I'll reflect on the day before. So if I was doing this in the afternoon, I would say, and we're doing this in the afternoon at the moment. So I'll recall 3 things from my morning that I really enjoy. It could be getting into the car and the car was nice and warm, or being able to be at work on time, or it could be I had my coffee and I was able to eat all my toast and things and get out of the house feeling full and satisfied. Things like that, simple things from your morning to say thank you for, because again, you're starting with the beginning of your day, or you could start with the end of the previous day if you're doing this in the morning, and that kind of filters through and shows you that yes, you're going to have a positive day today as well. Um, the next thing, so first thing, simple things to be thankful for, setting your brain up to be thankful and grateful. The second one is your morning. Why are we thankful? The sun is up. We should be thankful that the sun is there, because without the sun, photosynthesis doesn't happen. Yes, the science teacher going on and on. Photosynthesis doesn't happen. We don't get oxygen. We're not here. We're not going to be here, right? So it's simple things to be thankful for. And then your morning, whatever you're thankful for about the start of your day, or whatever you're thankful for about the end of your day. And the third one, I did say that we reflect on experiences. So we're going to be reflecting on what about your day was difficult. And nothing is always rosy or peachy. Nothing's going to be, your day is not always going to be perfect. Things will happen. Unexpected things that we expect to happen will happen. But it's how we see it. And for me, in the last 4 months, being quite ill during the first 4 months of my pregnancy, I was finding it really difficult to do this. But eventually, I'd started, I guess, with all the hormones and things moving around, and with me feeling different, and me feeling like I need to be on top of everything. I think my mindset took a little bit of a dip, and I needed to remind myself that yes, there are experiences that are difficult, but I need to recognize them as learning experiences, because we're here to learn. When we leave with nothing. We leave with the lessons we've had. We leave with um, the experiences. We leave with the love and joy and passion that we created when we were here. And that's something that I had to let go of. That an experience is not just there to make me feel difficulty sometimes, but it's also there to make me feel that I've learned something, to make me feel like the next step or the next day is a triumph because of what I've gone through the previous day. So the third one is the experiences. What was difficult about your day? And you can write it down, however you want to write it down. I mean, if you want to draw, do it, annotate a diagram, mind map, swear words, it doesn't matter. It's your book, it's your journal, it's your mind, it's real to you, right? So if it was a difficult experience, I'd like you to write down thank you for this learning experience of. And once we say thank you, we start with a positive and we say the learning experience of. We already know that we will not have to go through that again. Or maybe if we do go through that again, we have the learning and we have the experience of it to make sure that we don't feel this way tomorrow or another time. Okay. And that a lot of that gave me strength to get back um, to feeling like my usual self. Okay, we never really feel like our old selves. We never should aim to feel like your old self. You're never your old self. You wake up tomorrow morning and you're a new person because of the experiences of your day. So be thankful for those experiences, good or bad, and move on from that, knowing that you've learned something. Um, the fourth thing is to release that. So if something's really, really troubled you, and releasing again is not easy for us teachers because we go through things in our minds. We want to be able to find reasons, we want to find out results, progress. But most people, in fact, tend to overthink things because we feel a lot. Especially if you're doing a reflective exercise, you feel a lot. And feeling is good, but we also need to be able to feel and release and know that the next bit is going to be okay, or if it's not going to be okay, that we're stronger from what's happening. So for step number four, I release whatever it is because why are you releasing it? Because it's for your mental health, for your well-being. It's for your progress, for your life to be better, for your happiness. I do not control. I like to write this down because relinquishing control is hard for most people. But once you relinquish control, it makes us less anxious. Okay. I know I'm going over time a little bit. I did start a little earlier, but I'm just so passionate about this, and I want to get you all to listen to everything. I want you to know. I don't want to leave anything out. So yeah, I release whatever it is. So today um, I broke a cup. I'm thinking back now, I couldn't remember if it was a cup or a plate. It was a cup. So I dropped a cup and I was really upset about that because it was a really pretty cup and I liked it and someone important gave it to me. So I would write in my journal tonight or later on. I release the broken cup or I release dropping the cup because it no longer serves me. It no longer makes impact on me right now. So sorry, it no longer serves me. Being upset about it no longer makes any impact in my life right now, so I release it. I do not control the cup falling, or I do not control the outside things that happen, but I do control how I feel about it and how I react to it. And so I could cry over it, or I could just say, okay, cup's gone, can't do anything about it. I don't think I can fix it. But I'm not going to allow it, the loss of it, to control me. Okay. And the last thing, the future. So we think about previous, we think about now, right now, and what we need to fix or what we need to address and feel and get through. And then we look at what is coming up because there's so much to be grateful for. The fact that you have 2 minutes ahead of you that you're going to be doing something, or you're going to have dinner just now, you're going to go and see your children and hug your kids, or you're going to go and watch a movie, anything, go wash dishes. The fact that you have hands to wash the dishes, great. Yes, I know, washing dishes, mundane task, but the fact that we have dishes to use, it's amazing. It's something that we could be grateful for. So number 5 is I'm grateful to have whatever it is to look forward to tomorrow. So I'm going to be spending some time with my family tomorrow. So I am so grateful to have time and access to facilities that I could use to spend time with my family. And that already prepares me and makes my mind remember, tells me that tomorrow is going to be amazing too. It sets you up for positivity. Now, this is done in 10 minutes, right? And every time I do each step, I make sure I breathe in, because when you breathe in, your brain activates with that oxygen added in. It makes you feel energized, but also it's putting a lot of positive energy into your next steps. So if I'm saying, I'm so grateful to have a time with my family to look forward to, I'm so grateful for the lesson of not leaving my cup on the side of the table. Already, the impact of breathing in and releasing a breath makes me feel better. And if you have a chance, do it. Breathe in, think about something that you're so grateful for. Think about it now. What are you grateful for right now? Think about it. Now take a deep breath in and out. And that is the feeling that you want to generate every single day. Okay. So that was our reflection process. Remember, start simple. Think about your morning or your evening, from like previous evening or your morning. Think about your experience. If there was a negative experience that you want to get out, release that experience, and think about your future. And that makes the journaling experience 10 minutes of your day. But if you do it for a year, every single day, that makes your entire year amazing. Starts you off on a brilliant day for a brilliant day, ends your day really well. Or think about it, 2.5 days of self-development as opposed to spending 2.5 days gossiping. Well, I would rather have that. So send me any questions if you have any, and so much of love and positive energy to all of you. Let me know how your journals go and whether you have any questions, and we are so glad to answer all of that for you. Okay, so yeah, that is me, Coach Sesh, out for this evening. And I'm wishing you all an amazing, brilliant evening wherever you are. I know I've got family and friends back home in South Africa watching. I've got people in other countries watching at the moment. And I've also got all my friends here as well. So everybody, so much of love to all of you. Thank you so much. And that is Coach Sesh out.